Bulldog Burger, we take the burger game to the next level, like the Freshman 15, stacked with panko fried mozzarella. Unleash your appetite.
Tupelo Smiles is a top-notch group. They're very compassionate about what they do. They've given me the smile that I've always wanted. I've been a patient for 15 years and I wouldn't go anywhere else. I just love Tupelo Smiles.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm so excited that you decided to stay up late with us tonight. Get the very latest on what's going on in North Mississippi, whether that's weather-wise, but also football-wise, because our game of the week just wrapped up, and we have the latest coming right at you during this broadcast, so might as well get started with it. So let's take a look at our headlines as we start off with today, especially with what was an action-packed start to the game of the week. We have our high-scoring highlights. Gabe was giving me a little inside advice, or I guess tips and everything going on at the start. So I already have a little sneak peek to what's coming up. Definitely going to be worth tuning into. But also, I have the latest on the rainfall timing. That's been the story, not only as we wrapped up our work week, but heading into the weekend on pretty much that rainfall starting to come in this weekend. We have the latest model run to time out your weekend plans, especially for your Saturday and any outdoor plans, and whether or not they're worth having, or if we can work around it just a little bit with that rainfall. But we will have beautiful conditions post-rain. Just got to get through these soggy conditions first, a soggy weekend, maybe even a soggy start to the work week. But once that rainfall moves on out of here, we are seeing beautiful conditions, especially as we get closer and closer to Halloween here in North Mississippi. But let's take a look at the first 12. We're seeing dry conditions pretty much for the front half before the next 24 comes up. 56 degrees by 11 o'clock, pretty much staying in the mid 50s by the time we make it in those AM hours. But later on, we will start pushing into the low 50s. So low 50s will pretty much be our low later on tonight. Seeing 53 by 8 o'clock when we wake up, and then temperatures rising towards the upper 70s by the time we make it towards those lunchtime hours. But like I keep mentioning, meteorologist Gabe Maynor was at your game of the week, giving us the latest. Here we go. If he's still here, which maybe he cut out. Oh,
okay, I think we're back up and running. Caleb, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Perfect. Okay, well, we've been cutting out with connection because, as you might see, I'm not at the stadium right now. The game had ended about an hour and 15 minutes ago, and because, it was a complete blowout. I won't say who exactly won, but we'll find out here in just a moment. But yeah, in front of Vardaman High School, lights are currently off at the stadium. You guys would not have been able to see me, and I'm actually using my car to get any light out here in Vardaman because everyone is at home. I'm going to say mourning what happened. Let's go ahead and get into those highlights, Caleb. It was definitely a night to forget for the Rams. So as you can see right here, senior night for the Rams as the class of 26 takes the field for the very last time. The Vardaman Rams playing host to the Calhoun City Wildcats for the 1A District 3 matchup under the Friday night lights. As you can see right here, Vardaman coming out of the tunnel, and same thing with the Wildcats. Let's go ahead and get into those highlights. First drive, Wildcats ball. Quarterback motions his receiver over and hands the ball off to Harlan Pittman. He takes it right all the way to the boundary, and he tiptoes the sideline past every single Rams defender. Calhoun City strikes on the first play, just 13 seconds into the game. Wildcat Nation loud and proud as their boys strike first. Calhoun City opts for two and gives it to Pittman again. He crosses the goal line, and it is good. 8-0 Wildcats early in the first. Wildcats showing up and showing out. Rams will go 3 and out on their drive, so that means Wildcats ball. And they keep that run game going, giving the ball to Demarius Pittman, and that man is shot out of a cannon. No one catching him. He is in for a 35-yard Wildcat touchdown. 2 touchdowns on 3 plays. Yeah, that's the way to get the game going. Calhoun City taking over the Rams senior night. And Calhoun City, of course, trying to go for 2 again. This time they go to Xavier Pittman, and he is in 16-0. Wildcats with 7:08 left in the first. Less than 5 minutes into the game. Another 3 and out for Vardaman. Offense just not moving. Wildcats trying to keep the momentum. Harlan Pittman hikes the ball, and he sees Jaquavion Jennings on a deep post route in the middle of the field. Pass complete, brought down for Calhoun City. First down. Rams coach trying to get this defense set up right. Just trying to get answers at this point. Unfortunately, they were no match for the Wildcat offense. Xavier Pittman takes a QB draw up the middle, finds the gap, but he is tripped up at the 1-yard line. So close, but he would finish that drive off. Wildcats still get their 6th. Pittman gets a 1-yard gain and another touchdown for Calhoun City. Wildcat color guard keeping their pom-poms busy tonight. As you can see, plenty to cheer about in this game for Calhoun City. Xavier Pittman continuing his takeover. He would take the snap and find the edge for the two-point conversion. That man cannot be stopped. 24-0 with 3:20 in the first. One-sided game so far, and yes, that is first quarter, not first half. Rams need a response, and a response they would get. Watch this play right here. Braylon Bedford, what a play. Hurdles over the defender, embarrassing him in the process. Rams fan finally happy, having something to cheer about. Unfortunately, a flag would bring it right back. The bad luck continues. Vardaman would end up punting. Calhoun City keeping their foot on the pedal. Pittman would find his man Jennings streaking down the field on the left side for another first down for the Wildcats. Vardaman fans, honestly looking for anything at this point, trying to get their defense going. Got the Wildcat tails, but seems like those Wildcats got their tails moving. But again, nothing was stopping this defense. They give it to Demarius Pittman, who would go up the gut, bounces it outside, running past every Ram defender, and he would sneak into the end zone right at the buzzer of the first quarter. Rams getting slaughtered just 12 minutes into the game. Wildcat Nation showing up for their cross-county rival and their division rival as well. But again, no match. Calhoun City sharing the love will give it to Kamari Sally, who gets the two-point try on the left side. Shout out big fella right there. Band playing the sweet sounds of victory as this Calhoun City offense is just nothing or something to be messed with. Rams getting nothing done on offense. Another fourth down right here. Wildcats showing no mercy. They'd give it to their big playmaker, Demarius Pittman. He fights off the ankle biters and gets to the edge before being brought out after a 15-yard gain. Another first down for Pittman. Calhoun City trying to capitalize, and they would. Pittman takes the handoff again, and he goes untouched into the end zone for his 3 touchdowns on the day already. Not just the day, but the first half. Telling these seniors, hey, this is my night. Even in the blowout, Wildcat fans louder than ever. Of course, they'd go for two. Harlan Pittman would run right, throw back across the field. Teach him not to do that, but it worked out for him. He finds his wide open receiver, Shane Farmer, in the end zone, 40-0 in the second. Cheerleaders mocking the sweet potato capital right here with that chant. That's unfair at that point. Rams offense again stopped for a fourth down, and the Wildcats would not be stopped. This time tossing it to the flats to Farmer, who plows the defender into the ground, getting another Calhoun City first down. Hey, living up to that Farmer name right there. Rams need a stop to get some life. But again, this offense is rolling and nothing is standing in its way. Jalen Jackson takes a handoff to the left, dodges away from the tack, somehow stays in bounds, and gets a 25-yard gain. My word. More like Lamar Jackson out there. Rams cheered, hoping to get something to cheer about, but it was all Wildcats this senior night. Harlan Pittman takes a snap, sprints right, and finds his receiver Jennings in the back of the end zone. Gets it off the defender's fingers for another Calhoun City touchdown. Trying for two all the way from the 17 after a penalty. Pittman would keep it on a draw play and would be untouched. The try is good. Calhoun City dominating the first half, 48-0, and that dominance would continue as the Wildcats would win 54-0. To be honest with you, I thought they were scoring 100 points tonight. I mean, that's how good this offense looked. But this was definitely a senior night to forget after what Rams fans wanted it to be a senior night to remember. Rams falling to 2-7, and Calhoun City currently sitting at 7-1 with 2-0 in the division. Rams fans trying to get back on track next week, hoping to get that spot in the playoffs. But Calhoun City has that thing locked up and it has a state title in its sights. Looks like a dominant offense. They did come down to 1A from being in 2A last year, so keeping some of that 2A momentum for sure. But I mean, my word, what we saw tonight was some dominance from the Wildcats. Fans were excited to be out here and just excited to be here in Vardaman. Although it wasn't exactly pretty on the field, it was pretty way up in the sky. It was pretty out there in the stands, just getting all the fans out there, all the passion, just excited for their guys and gals on their senior night, just enjoying them last time at Carter Field in Rams Stadium. So big shout out to Vardaman for having us out here for our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week. Wish I could still be in the stadium, but the lights turned out and you guys would not see a thing. So that's why we're here at Vardaman High School. So again, hope you guys enjoyed it. And this is it's been a great night, and a big shout out to you guys for voting us to come down here. Our next vote will be next week for our Week 10 game. But Caleb, I know before we get to any of that, we're tracking the forecast, rain chances this weekend, but we also have our band of the week and cheer of the week, and we got quite a good one. So lots to still look forward to here at the 10 o'clock hour. But for now, I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, live from our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week.
Well, big thanks to our meteorologist Gabe Maynor for giving us those high-scoring highlights. Notice that he was wearing those long sleeves, so it looks like he's learning his lesson. But Right now, not only are we having cooler conditions as we wrap up our evening, but we're still sticking with those dry conditions. Not much to look at here, and thankfully we're going to see some more to look at tomorrow. That's what those rain chances. Thankfully, nothing of it is going to be severe like we had this past weekend, just some much needed rainfall, allowing for a lazy, rainy weekend ahead. But as of right now, we are staying dry here in North Mississippi. The question is, how long will these dry conditions last? Well, let's look at that here with Futurecast. I'm going to zoom it out just a little bit so we can kind of get the full picture of what's going on. Here we go. You can see where that real rainmaker is out west, pretty much just in Texas, that low pressure system with that warm front and cold front. That's what's driving these storms closer and closer towards North Mississippi. So let's track this on out. That warm front starting to kind of push these showers and storms really towards us. That you can definitely tell where the severe weather risk is, and that is not here in North Mississippi, but more south of us, where that level 2 is starting to clip the southern part of our state. But as the warm front gets closer and closer, this is by 2 o'clock, so almost a little bit delayed from what those models were showing earlier. We're still showing dry, but some of those rain chances starting to creep into the forecast in those afternoon hours. It's the front end where we see those drier conditions, but in the afternoon, evening hours, those rain showers are going to continue pushing and getting closer because that low pressure system will eventually make its way towards North Mississippi as well. So once it starts raining, it's going to keep raining for a while, pretty much all day into your Sunday as well, pretty much for the rest of the weekend. So let's enjoy the dry conditions while they last. And you can definitely tell where we're staying dry. Looking at the next 24, we're starting dry around 52 degrees for Saturday morning, warming up towards the mid 70s by lunchtime. But once we get into those afternoon hours, 10% by 3 o'clock, 10% still by 6 o'clock, 20 by 9, just a slow gradual increase as this continues to push into Mississippi. It'll cross into the Mississippi River, hit the Delta first, and continue pushing towards I-55, east of I-55, west of 45, and just keep pushing all the way across North Mississippi, allowing all of us to get the benefit of some much needed rainfall here in North Mississippi. But of course, I'm going to give you the latest look on that timing with our graphics with the new model run that came out this evening. We're going to also cover your band of the week, cheer squad of the week, all of that coming up in 1 minute.
When you've been injured, don't settle for a lawyer who doesn't even know where you live. Call Langston and Lott. Local lawyers, personal service, real results.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, there you have it. There was your cheer squad of the week. Vardaman High School may not have gotten the win, but definitely got cheer squad. Coming up later in the broadcast, we'll also show you band of the week. Did Vardaman get the clean run in that, or did Calhoun City? Coming up within the later in the broadcast. But temperatures right now, 55 degrees. Not much wind going on right now. Don't really need it. Feels nice outside. Feels perfect. Feels like 55. So it will continue to feel amazing as we proceed further into the evening. But let's take a look at your SEC football forecast. Not really talking about the game of the week forecast. That is behind us. Now we get to look forward to some college game day action. Rebels going towards Norman, Oklahoma. It's going to be a rainy forecast, still 80% by the first place, temperatures around 61, but this is an earlier game, so going to warm up throughout the rest of the game. But thankfully, those rain chances decrease as well, sitting around 30% by the time you're walking out of the stadium. So Rebels have a huge battle against the Sooners coming up this weekend. But also Alabama going to South Carolina and Columbia. Should be a beautiful forecast out there. Should also be a great game. Starting off around 69 degrees, cooling on off towards the mid 60s by the time they are walking out of the stadium as well. And here comes my personal favorite, Bulldogs hosting the Texas Longhorns. Should be an excellent matchup. Very excited to see what happens here. Hopefully we can go 3-0 with all of our SEC football forecasts. But starting off around 77 degrees, trying to stay dry throughout most of it. It's not until the final snap where we're really going to start to see those rain chances start to pick on up. But hopefully maybe we can have a fast-paced, moving game. Maybe it can mess up the Texas offense or defense or both. We'll see. But might be a rainier end towards that football game there in Starkville. But let's come back to Futurecast to map out kind of what's going to happen for the rest of your evening. We can still see not as many clouds as we saw earlier, pretty much just the northern half, just north of Highway 6, seeing that cloud cover pretty much south of it, seeing almost clear conditions. But we will see that cloud cover start to build back in as we continue into the evening ahead, especially midnight and on. Maybe a few breaks throughout the night, but most of us are going to be sleeping during this time. Not much to look at above us. In case you want to look at the asteroids, just not really, or any of those meteor showers, not going to see much tonight because of those cloudy conditions. Even by Saturday when we're getting out of bed, hopefully not by 6 in the morning, going to be a cloudy start as well. So that moisture is starting to come back into the atmosphere, a precursor for things to come. Low temperatures also showing that more moisture is in the atmosphere, a little bit warmer than what it has been. Not really seeing low 40s as we did earlier in the work week. We're now pretty much in the low 50s. So warming up a little bit, not as chilly or as burr of a start. I know I felt them during my 8 a.m.s all week long. It's that time of the year. But coming back to Futurecast, we can still see dry conditions by the time we start off Saturday. Still not as cloudy either. Those clouds breaking just a little bit, but notice where that cloud cover is very heavy. That's out in Arkansas, west of the Mississippi River. Those are going to start pushing into North Mississippi, especially by lunchtime. And there you go. There's that warm front getting closer and closer towards North Mississippi. That's what's bringing all these rain showers as well. They're going to continue pushing into North Mississippi as well, pretty much crossing the Mississippi River around 4 and 5 o'clock. We really start to see some showers starting to pretty much enter the Delta just west of I-55, pretty much around 6 o'clock, 6:30. So definitely going to be stuff and rain showers to talk about during the 6 o'clock broadcast, which will be very nice, especially not severe, just much needed rain here in North Mississippi. High temperatures pretty much upper 70s across most of North Mississippi. Thankfully, those heat and seas keeping us right there with those actual temperatures, so we'll still feel like those actual temperatures as we're continuing into the day, so it won't feel as muggy and humid outdoors. Should be a mild and comfortable day before that rainfall comes, which will help kind of cool us off as well. But coming back to Futurecast, we can still see where that rainfall is pretty heavy at 6 o'clock. Different model, you can definitely tell where it is pretty much out in the Delta at this time. But as we continue into the evening, those rain chances still pushing across North Mississippi, maybe getting a break, if you will, by midnight around 12:30, seeing a little patch of moisture pretty much along Highway 45, and then another round kind of entering the Delta as well around 12:30. We're going to continue moving into the evening, and there we go. There's that kind of second line of storms as that low pressure system gets closer and closer, pretty much along the Mississippi River around 5 o'clock. More heavy downpours, but still nothing severe is expected as of right now. Of course, we'll continue to update you if that changes. Basically just some well-needed, much-needed rainfall here in North Mississippi. But that line is going to continue moving across North Mississippi around Sunday, 9:30 in the morning. Still some heavy downpours, some yellow, orange, reds popping up, but definitely much needed here. We're going to continue pushing into the Sunday hours, definitely getting a little bit heavier around Oxford, Sardis, Water Valley, seeing that rainfall continue to push through North Mississippi, eventually exiting by the time we get towards 8 o'clock. Still some heavy rainfall in the Golden Triangle region as well. So pretty much Sunday, going to be an all-day rain event. It's just all of us are going to see these rain chances as we continue throughout the weekend. So those dry hours that we see at the start of Sunday or Saturday, enjoy them because we are seeing soggy conditions from that moment on. And you can see that low pressure system finally making its way into central Mississippi. That is what's responsible for these rain chances as we continue into the rest of the weekend. But we're starting to see drier conditions as we get into the early Monday morning hours. High temperatures though Sunday, we're reaping the benefits. We might have to deal with the rainfall, but pretty much mid 60s as our highs, almost upper 50s, 61 in Red Bay, 62 in Hamilton, Iuka, Boonville. It is going to feel amazing as we wrap up our weekend as well. Just got to get through the rainfall as well. But heat and seas keeping us right there with those actual temperatures, maybe cooling just a few of us off as well. So we'll feel a little bit better than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. But speaking of all this rain, we have our trunk or treat forecast, especially with this being the last weekend in October. Definitely going to be a soggy one. So make sure to continue checking in on that forecast, making sure you know kind of when that rain's moving into your area, especially whether you're in the Delta, east of Highway 45. All of that can change throughout the rest of the day. So make sure to continue looking at those latest updates and model runs as you go through your Saturday. But pretty much look at the 7-day forecast. You can see a rainy Saturday, definitely a soggy Sunday. And those rain chances pretty much linger Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before we start seeing drier conditions Thursday and Friday by Halloween. I mean, I think that is perfect conditions for Halloween. It's not too cold, it's not too warm, it's not wet, it's dry. It should be a beautiful Halloween here in North Mississippi. Band of the week, here we go. Well, there you have it. There was your band of the week. Had to make sure to walk over and make sure the audio did not mute me because I'm not letting it catch me off guard tonight. But here are the QR codes for both the iOS and Android app. We appreciate all the support you've given us. Going to be very useful to let you know when rain's coming, especially when we have more severe stuff with hail. Always getting those alerts, and they have been pretty on top of it from everything we've heard so far from you guys. And we love hearing any feedback you have for the app because we need to make sure it is at its tip-top form for y'all, and y'all get the very best here at Mississippi Live Weather. But we've officially made it to the weekend, which means we are going towards our weekend broadcast schedule. We will be live tomorrow night at 6 and 10, and looks like we'll be talking about some rain here in the Room to Room Weather Center. So y'all go out, enjoy the rest of y'all's Friday evening, enjoy a dry start to your Saturday before we start seeing rainy conditions pretty much linger into the rest of your weekend. And y'all have a great one, and we'll see y'all live tomorrow night at 6 and 10.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us at unitedway.org.